guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Sam. It's so good to see you here. Today I'm going to be talking about coats and how to stay warm in the winter. I'm actually going to walk through my entire coat collection. I have all of them laying out on my bed right next to me. I feel like I am uniquely qualified to talk about coats because I have grown up in the Midwest my entire life. The Midwest gets some pretty brutal winters. I know this isn't like Canada or like, there are colder places, don't get me wrong, but I feel like we really do range in terms of like going from that hot weather to that bitter cold. There's that whole range, and so we really have experienced all of it. And now living in Chicago, I spend a lot of the winter time outside, so I'm definitely not just like going from my house to my car to the place. Like there's a lot of time in between walking around outside, taking public transit, just, experiencing the weather a little bit more like directly than I would have if I didn't live in the city. So I feel like I have collected a good variety of coats for the different temperatures and, different elements that could happen in the winter. So I'd love to share it with you. I think there might still be a couple of things that I would love to like fill certain gaps in my wardrobe, but honestly, it's more of an aesthetic thing. So with all of that being said, let's first look at coats that are for that like, it's just about to get cold kind of range. I'm not including jackets. In my opinion, there's a difference here between like a jacket and a coat. For me, a jacket is something that you can like leave on when you get there. If it's part of the outfit and it's like a blazer is not a coat. And I think obviously there's like a lot of overlap here, but these are things that like I would take off when I get there. So we'll start in that category. First things first, let's talk about the outfit. This is an outfit that I'm just wearing today. It's nothing special for this video, but I did want to talk about it because this is something that maybe doesn't look like it can be worn in the wintertime, but I beg to differ. I think the boots are a lot warmer than jeans. Having the leather covering your legs, at least for me, it keeps me very warm. It's like wearing leather socks. Like, it's really doing the job. So these are a big factor in why this outfit is possible in the wintertime. Another factor are the tights. So right now I'm wearing just like sheer my nude colored tights. I also have a pair that are fleece that are the same color. So if it was truly like really, really cold out, I would wear my fleece nude tights. And those would be super warm to get me through. And then on top of that, we have this big chunky sweater. So this, you can layer all of the different thermals you want underneath it, and it really keeps you warm. So I know this doesn't look like it, but to me, this is a wintertime outfit. So this will be our base for all of the coats. Obviously, not every single coat I try on would be one that I would pick for this outfit, but I figured it was a good neutral starting point. So we'll go ahead and start in the first category. We're starting strong with a denim coat / jacket. Like I said, this is something that I would take off when I get to where I'm going. So I would consider this to be a coat. Oh, it's so cute. So it comes with this like strap, and I usually tie it in the back. So this is option number one in this kind of like warmth category. I like this because it's thick enough that it kind of offers that wind protection, and it's insulated a little bit just because it's denim, and denim tends to hold the heat in, but it's not so thick that it's like too much. So I think this is perfect for those transitional seasons and the times when you're not really sure if you're gonna be hot or cold. You can just bring this with you, and it's super easy when you take it off to just like carry it. So if you didn't want to wear it, you can just kind of hold it and it's not too much. So jacket number one is one of my favorites. Number two is this one. Now, this is not necessarily a coat and more of a rain jacket, but I really wanted to include it because I think it's important to have a rain jacket. So this is actually very, very thin. I don't know if you can tell, but it's very thin. But because of the material, because of this like swishy material, it really holds the heat in. It is water resistant. I wouldn't say it's waterproof, but it is water resistant. So you can wear this out in the elements and it'll protect you from the wet, but it won't necessarily add so much heat that you're gonna like die of heat. So it's a really good staple rain jacket. All right, the next jacket we'll talk about is a leather jacket. So the one I'm about to show you, I would never actually pair with this outfit, but I'm gonna put it on anyway so you can see what it looks like. So this is just a simple black leather jacket. There are hundreds of variations of this. Obviously this one is from a couple of years ago. You can tell just by like the way it looks that it was trendy a few years ago. But I still think that like having a basic leather jacket is never gonna go out of style and is something that you can always use to like stay warm. So a simple basic, something that I would probably take off once I got there, but I think it's really cute. Maybe not with this outfit, but I needed to show it. Next, we will move up to coats that I would wear when it's maybe like above 40 degrees, but below like 60 degrees. So in that kind of range where it's chilly, if the wind was blowing, if it was raining or whatever, like I would be uncomfortably cold. But it's not so cold that like my fingers are gonna fall off. You know what I mean? So that's gonna be this section, I would say 40 to 60 degrees. The next jacket is one of my favorites. This one gets so much use because it's just so cute. I got this jacket at a little boutique in Michigan and it's just so perfect. It's thick and it's cozy and it's soft, but it's not too thick because it kind of, like the way that it looks in terms of like a transitional jacket, it can be worn in like the fall or the spring. Like that's the level of warmth that it gives. One of my biggest pet peeves is when a coat looks like it should be really warm and looks like it would be worn with like a winter outfit, but then it doesn't actually provide the warmth that it looks like it does. Or the other way around, like it looks like a springtime jacket, but it's actually so hot when you wear it. Like biggest pet peeve. And this coat is not that at all. It looks just as warm as it is. I also love how long the sleeves are, especially with this outfit. I just think that this is everything. It's so cute. The pattern also is perfect because it's not necessarily a solid. It's got some like texture to it, but it is still a neutral. I don't know, something about this jacket, I will definitely never get rid of it. It's one of my favorites. All right, next up. So this coat is one that is just so practical. There's not a lot to it, and it's just a good staple coat to have. I'll try it on for you. So, as you can see, it's just a basic black coat. It has the lining is like soft faux fur. It's not very thick, but it does provide some really good warmth. The outside is that like swishy material, so it kind of acts as a windbreaker. It's not really waterproof. Like if you walked in the rain, you would eventually like be able to feel it on the inside. So it's not necessarily waterproof, but it is windproof a little bit. There's a little pocket here that I genuinely never use. It has a hood, which I also almost never use because I just think it looks silly. So this is one that I throw on a lot of the time. It's not that cute, but it does the job and it's so easy. It really does just kind of blend in with anything. And the next section we'll cover, we're getting a little colder. This is, I would say, maybe like 15 or 20 degrees would be like the coldest I could probably go and still comfortably wear these coats. So this is in the vein of like, this is actual winter now. So these are going to be kind of everyday coats that really keep me warm when it's like actually cold. And most of the times these would get paired with scarves, mittens, gloves, ear warmers, maybe even like some hot hands. So this is just going to be the coats, but there are so many other ways that you can stay warm during the winter that would supplement these coats. So yes, this section would be, I'll say like 20 degrees to 40 degrees. This coat is definitely getting up there in terms of warmth. This is one that I purchased a long time ago, like years and years and years ago. And I definitely don't think that I would buy this now, mostly because I don't like gray and I don't like puffer jackets. But I think this is a really good example of a coat that is slightly warmer than the last one I showed. It gets the job done, and it just kind of blends in. It has, like I mentioned, it's a puffer coat, so it has that like down feathering inside of it that really helps with insulation. And then it also has that swishy material to help with the wind and any moisture. Another thing about this one that I do like a lot is that the hood is actually removable. So I did remove the hood on this one. So this is a good option. I think it's good to have in my wardrobe. I won't get rid of it. It is flattering. I just don't love the color, and I'm not really into like puffer coats anymore. All right, we're continuing to climb up here in the warmth category. This is a Carhartt jacket or coat. I don't know, I'm using jacket and coat interchangeably, but this one's Carhartt. This is so warm. I love Carhartt for that reason. It's so practical. So this coat is one that I wear when I know it's gonna be cold. I know that I'm gonna need some like actual protection, but I wanna look a little bit more casual. And it doesn't have that swishy material. I think that that's a big defining factor for me in terms of coats, is that swishy fabric. I feel like makes it look so like athletic and utilitarian. Whereas I'm saying that a Carhartt jacket is not utilitarian, but to me it feels more casual and more lived in and more like natural because it is a canvas, so it's more of a natural fiber. So this jacket slash coat has a really thick canvas material on top, and then it also has, one of my favorite parts are these cuffs on the inside, so it kind of cinches in and it stops any sort of like cold air or wind from going up your sleeve. And then on the inside, it's lined, but it really does provide all of those layers of warmth so that you stay really, really warm. I also love that I got this one in an oversized fit. I just think it makes an outfit, in my opinion. I don't know. I actually wore this when I was in New Mexico and I was doing the Earthship Academy. I wore this to do like actual construction. When I was in college, I did a program where I built a house, actually 2 houses, and I had a Carhartt jacket then that was genuinely just used for like construction purposes because we were outside in the winter building. And that had like all of the like construction, like it had like adhesive on it and like paint on it, and you could just really tell that like I wore it to build a house. That one was blue and I ended up getting rid of it, and I'm really sad that I got rid of it because my friend Grace, who did that program with me, she still has her Carhartt from that time and she wears it like a badge of honor. Like she's like, yeah, I built a house in this coat. I still have my steel-toed boots that have all of the wear and tear on them, but having that coat would be really cool, and I'm still sad I got rid of it. So this is one that I replaced it with when I did the Earthship Academy because I needed a Carhartt coat. And now it's like the clean version of what that coat was. And I do wear it like not to construction sites. Okay, now this is for a cold day. This is what I would call a parka. So we have the swishy fabric, but it's longer. So this coat covers more of your body, which obviously means you're going to be warmer. The only thing I will say about this coat is that it doesn't have a lining. So that's one thing that I wish I had paid more attention to before I bought this, because it's one of those that makes it look warmer than it is. So it looks like a parka. It looks like it would be one of the warmest coats I own. The problem though is that it doesn't have a lining. I feel like typically the down insulation part would have its own encasing, and then there would be a separate lining that goes on the inside, and that would really help with the warmth. But this one doesn't have that, so it's not quite as warm as it looks, but it is still one of my warmer coats, and I really only bring this out when it's like pretty brutally cold outside. But a lot of times I will layer something warmer underneath it because it doesn't have that lining. The other thing about this is it has a really good hood. This hood has a lot of down insulation in it, so it's gonna stay warm in there. It also has the buttons. You can button it up here. I only ever really whip out these buttons when it's like fully necessary. If I'm walking and the wind is whipping and I need it to like stay, you know, in, that's when I'll use the buttons. But yeah, this is one that I don't really bring out that often, but when I do, it's good to have. All right, these next two coats are kind of the like nicer version of the parka that I just showed. So they both are a little bit longer. So I have a brown version and a black version. We'll go ahead and try the black version on first. This is one that I've had for years and I have loved it. For years and years, this was kind of like my everyday coat. Like if it was cold out at all, I would just throw this on. I think that this is like some kind of polyester nylon blend, but it feels kind of like wool. It's a little bit more like stiff and like itchier feeling, but then on the inside, it's got this really nice lining that keeps it warm and keeps it comfortable. Another feature about this coat that I really, really love is that when it's zipped up, it's kind of asymmetrical. So let me show you. So first things first, you can zip it just to here and have it be kind of like a waist cinching moment with the lapels super wide and open. And then from there, you could go up a little further, up to here, and have this really cute little like lapel moment. I think this coat looks really good with scarves. And then if it's really, really cold out, you can go all the way up and zip it so that it has this like mock neck situation. This coat is so good. It's one of my favorites. I wear it all the time. This one is another one that has a removable hood. So I actually removed the hood on this one, but there is a hood if I ever wanted to put it on, and it's just this same material. Next is the brown iteration of the same kind of coat. This one is a very new addition. This is the most recent coat addition to my wardrobe. This I got from a secondhand like vintage store here in Chicago called Beatnik, and it is everything I ever wanted. I think that this might actually replace my black coat in terms of like my everyday wear kind of a coat. It says made in Italy, which is amazing. This coat was only $48, so let's like appreciate, okay? I can't find a materials tag, but this definitely feels like wool. So this is like the perfect warm coat. I also love that the sleeves are the right length. A lot of times on vintage coats, the sleeves will be too short, so these are perfect. I also am in love with the like opening in the back. I think this is so cute. I'm not sure if I would ever actually do the belt up, but I definitely would button it. So let's go ahead and see it buttoned. It has these little hidden buttons. So this is the coat all the way buttoned. I think that it does lose a little bit of its flair when it's all the way buttoned up like this. I think I probably wouldn't ever do it all the way up unless it was like really, really cold out and I needed to. I might probably leave this top one undone. Maybe something more like that. Maybe I would only do the middle one. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I think that if I was out somewhere and I needed my coat to stay closed, but it really wasn't like that cold out, I would probably just stick to the middle button and maybe I would like tie the belt or like do the belt up somehow. But I don't know if I love it all the way buttoned up. I think my ideal way of wearing this would be all the way unbuttoned. Like I said, this is the newest addition to my wardrobe, so I'm still kind of figuring out my likes and dislikes about when and where I would wear this coat, but I love it so much. It's just such a good staple coat. And this last section, this is when you probably should just stay inside. So this is anything like, I would probably say this coat would take me down to like -10 to like that 15-20 degree range. So this is like bitter cold. Like I'm gonna reluctantly leave the house kind of cold. Again, please just stay inside. There's no coat in the world that's gonna be cute for this endeavor. So I guess I'll show you my like most heavy duty coat just so you can see the features of it, but it's not cute and you should probably stay inside. All right, you guys, we're bringing out the big guns. This is my like holy it's cold outside coat. This is my coat that I wear when I would rather not have left the house. This one is no joke. So this coat has that swishy fabric. It is waterproof. It has many layers. So the first layer is that like wind wicking kind of fabric. And then on the inside, there's down insulation fabric. And then on the inside of that is a lining. So this coat has all 3 layers. It's very thick. It's kind of hard to like really move around in. And the top is so thick and cozy that like when you put a scarf on with this, it's a lot. It really does keep me warm. This is it done up. It is still cute. It's just not necessarily like a part of the outfit at that point. It's really just for practical purposes. The one issue I do have with this coat is the way that the pockets are situated. So it has one set of pockets here that are very like straight up and down, and they have little snaps on them. And then there's pockets here that have zips, like little zippers, but they're at kind of a weird angle. So stuff like falls out of them. So when I'm walking, this feels funny because it feels like I need to kind of go like this, but then this feels even funnier, but these are like deeper and warmer. These like stuff falls out. So I don't know, the pocket situation could have used another look when they were designing this coat, but this part is great. This top part, oh my goodness. Yeah, this coat is for warmth. Okay, well that was a lot of trying on coats. I'm exhausted and I'm sweating, so I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope this was helpful to somebody out there. I kind of am thinking about those people who are like moving to colder climates and like they're not sure what to do, like what levels of coats they might need. So hopefully this is helpful. This kind of reminds me of one of my friends in college. She was from California, and she asked me if people use umbrellas when it's snowing outside. And it's like not something that I had ever thought of before, because it makes sense that people might. I mean, it's wet stuff falling from the sky. So I just thought that it was so funny that like there are people out there who did not grow up with winters and did not grow up with all the different versions of outerwear that you need to stay comfortable in these seasons. So hopefully showing you my collection was helpful. Obviously, I'm still adding to it. I would love to find that long fur-lined coat. That's always going to be on my list until I can find it. One can dream. Okay, anyways, thank you so much if you made it all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you'd like to, and I'll see you next week. Bye!